We Are The Dwarves is a new game coming out from indie game developers Wild Rock Studios and will be releasing on Steam on February 26th. The team doesn't fail to make big moves and carefully timed attacks for their first title on the platform and succeeds in grabbing the attention of both strategy gamers and casual gamers alike. The story is centered around three dwarven astronauts, Forcer, Smashfist and Shadow, who all live in the Stone universe. However, when they go out into space in their ship and fall victim to an accident, the ship crashes and sends the three dwarves to an unknown part of the universe, separating them. In this new part of the universe, everything is opposite to the Stone universe. Where there once was a void between each star and planet, there is now an infinite amount of eternal stone. It is from here that the race against time begins. In the Stone universe, the stars have started to go out, leaving the creatures there without light or warmth, and it is up to the three dwarves to find a new star in this new part of the galaxy to power their own universe. But before then, the three must reunite and take on all the creatures that stand between them and victory. In order to do this, you must take control of each of the three dwarves individually, Shadow, Forcer and Smashfist, and using their separate skills and different skill sets, fight your way to the star that could save your kind. Once you've used your strategic techniques to acquire a star, you'll return to the Stone universe, place the star in the sky and be crowned saviours of your race. Graphics are normally a big influence on the player in deciding if they should buy a game or not. With We Are The Dwarves, this is a problem of the past. The game takes graphics not to a serious level, but to a level in which you feel warmed while you slay any enemy that walks in your path. The cartoon-like style of the game only makes you want to spend more and more time playing while you explore the different landscapes that are lit with a range of different colours. Environments can go from being dark and black with a few blue lights to being bright green with splashes of yellow and orange throughout. Each character also has their own design that fits with the roles they play in the game. For example, Smashfist is a bulky bruiser with two axes, reflecting the fact that his abilities are centered around being loud while swinging to deal lots of damage. The user interface is one of the simplest I've seen in a strategy game that is filled with so many options. To follow on from this, the controls in the game are simple and easy to understand. The player moves the dwarf with the left mouse click and rotates the camera by holding the right mouse click and rotating the mouse. The dwarves' main abilities are placed on Q, W, E and R, with their individual special ability placed on T. The Alt key is also used to show enemies' cone of vision once you click them whilst you're holding it down, and the player also has the active pause button, which is the spacebar. However, the controls come with one downside: you're not able to change them. There is no option in the pause menu or the main menu that allows you to change the buttons that the abilities are allocated to, although this is not that much of a problem, as all the ability keys are located in the same area on the keyboard, meaning that the player should have no problem using them all simultaneously. We Are The Dwarves manages to avoid the problem of lengthy tutorials, not by throwing you into the action and yelling "learn as you play", but by giving you short, snappy and to the point tutorials that are incorporated into the character dialogue. These tutorials consist of no more than 5 bullet points each, probably a sentence long. This allows the player to learn how to play without having to slow the pace of the game down, and is in my opinion one of the reasons why I could personally keep playing this game. Once I came to an area where I know I was going to have to do a tutorial, I could continue through with ease, as I remembered I would not have to sit through pages upon pages of text telling me how to play. Not only does We Are The Dwarves keep the tutorial short, but it instantly throws you into a situation where you have to put your new knowledge to the test. Important gameplay tutorials would happen just before encounters where you'd have to fight, and the enemies in this game are so varied. Within the first 2 areas you'll fight 10 or more enemies, all different, and each have their own attack set. Players will also need to forget the mindset that they can blast through the whole campaign. This is a strategy game, remember. Different enemies will kill you in a different number of hits. Some enemies can kill you in as little as 4 hits, and that's only 2 from each if you get tag teamed. In these situations, is when the player must take advantage of the active pause button. This is the one thing I forgot to do on a regular basis, and I found myself getting incredibly mad when it was only my own fault. As said before, the active pause button slows down the gameplay, giving the player time to think about their next move. This mechanic is incredibly useful when you fight a swarm of enemies. You'll get the chance to chain your skills and auto attacks while also keeping an eye on your cooldowns and your special abilities. The active pause button has the potential to turn any quick defeat into a fair fight if used correctly. The game then encourages the use of this button by giving the Dwarf Forcer straight line abilities that he'd struggle to hit accurately while moving in the heat of combat. Branching off from abilities, each dwarf has their own individual skill set and skill tree that players can earn points to upgrade both the skills and the dwarf spacesuit. The 3 skill trees for the 3 dwarves are all different and upgrade different things. However, the upgrade for the spacesuit remains the same for all 3, consisting of a torch, health regeneration and other such utensils that will be useful later in the game. These are all displayed around a 3D model of the dwarf you're currently playing as. Dwarven Stone is a currency used to purchase the abilities and can be found scattered throughout the level. Repairing the spacesuit and applying things like armour and the torch will be paid for in something called energy ore. This is also found throughout levels, but is found more often than the Dwarven Stone. These types of currency only strengthen the game's appeal for players, as they're found so regularly and so often that you can constantly change your playstyle. You'll be able to tell the difference as the energy ore is blue and the Dwarf Stone is yellow. The varying price of abilities gives players a chance to play the game in a different way every time. Alongside these abilities, the dwarves also have a unique ability special to them. Force's ability, for example, is a force field that will block all incoming projectiles for a short amount of time. These can also be upgraded, but they can only be used once a certain requirement is met. Smash Fist requirement is that he must take enough damage in combat in order to activate his invincibility mode. Finally, each environment makes you play in a different way. Not always as a direct result of the layout or the colours of the map, but because there are a number of different environmental hazards that are put in there. The first level, Forces level, you start at the top of a tree surrounded by vines. You have to traverse the branches of the trees to get to different areas in the level. Any ordinary game would have invisible walls that make it impossible for the players to fall off. Not We Are The Dwarves, however. There are no walls to stop you from falling, meaning that you could happily walk off the edge. While you're busy slaying goblins and everything that stands before you, the atmosphere and your overall enjoyment of the game is boosted by not only the visuals, but by the sounds that the game produces. This covers everything from simple walking noises to the full-blown orchestral score that picks up in tempo once you enter a fight. The music is incredible to say the least. It adds that extra bit of flourish of life to the game. Each area of the game has a different set of music that can play ambiently, whilst in a fight or whilst nearing an objective, and it does nothing but enhance your experience. Alongside this, you have the game sounds themselves. Everything from the stabbing of Shadow's daggers to the idle noises that the enemies make whilst they stand around. The game gets sound right. Whilst clambering through slime in the swamps in the early levels, you can hear each individual footsteps. Similarly, in Shadow's introduction, you get the feel that you're really in a zero gravity environment, as everything just sounds muffled and so different. We Are The Dwarves combines their brilliant art style with their apparent knowledge of sound to create a wonderful atmosphere in their game. We Are The Dwarves is a fantastic addition to the strategy genre of games. This is not only because of the art style and the storyline, but because of the way it tries to mix MMORPG elements in through the use of skill trees. These skill trees only inflate the idea that you are the last 3 survivors of this spaceship wreckage, and the fate of your entire race rests on your short, stubby shoulders. A sense of being a hero rushes through you as you carefully use the active pause to plan your attack, picking off your enemies one by one. Once learned, the combat, the lore of being the last 3 dwarves in this part of the universe, and the idea that everyone is counting on you, makes this game an all-round enjoyable experience that is definitely worth picking up and playing. You'll be able to purchase the game on Steam for $14.99 on February 26th with a 10% discounted price for the first week of release. Thanks for watching, KeenGamers. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out our channel for more Let's Plays, reviews and weekly giveaways. Why not come visit us at our website at KeenGamer.com, where you can find all the latest gaming news. Check out our KeenGamer Facebook page and follow us on Twitter, which is @KeenGamerCom. Stay keen, KeenGamers.